Welcome to our channel, where today we delve into a shocking and heartbreaking story. It's about a young French nanny, Sophie Lyonnais, whose life was tragically cut short. We'll explore the disturbing events that unfolded at the hands of her employers, Sabrina Kouider and Ouissem Medouni. This case isn't just about a crime. It's a stark reminder of how abuse and delusion can escalate into something unimaginably horrible. Stay with us as we unravel the details of this harrowing case and pay tribute to Sophie's memory. Who was Sophie Lyonnais? Sophie's journey took a significant turn in December 2016. Despite her quiet nature, she harbored ambitions of broadening her horizons. Living abroad had never been a part of her plan, but improving her English and adding value to her resume was. That's when the au pair program caught her attention. It was perfect for someone like Sophie, who came from humble beginnings. This program offered a unique opportunity to live with a host family in a foreign country, caring for their children in exchange for a modest allowance. It was the most affordable exchange program, attracting many like Sophie who sought international experience without the burden of hefty expenses. Sophie decided to become an au pair in London after several unsuccessful job attempts in France. When a friend suggested this paid exchange, it seemed promising. It would allow Sophie to gain a valuable experience with children, an area where she naturally excelled due to her early childhood education background, and significantly improve her English skills. Despite never having left France before, Sophie was drawn to this opportunity. It represented a leap into the unknown, a chance to step out of her comfort zone and embark on an adventure that promised both personal and professional growth. She applied, hopeful and excited about the prospects that lay ahead in London. Sophie's acceptance into the au pair program began a new chapter in her life. The prospect of caring for two children, aged 4 and 9, filled her with excitement. Adding to her enthusiasm was the host mother's involvement in the fashion world, promising introductions to famous personalities. This, and the fact that the host family was French, eased Sophie's worries about communication barriers. In December 2015, Sophie set off for England, stepping into a world far different from her familiar surroundings in France. By January 2016, as she celebrated her 20th birthday, Sophie seemed to thrive in her new environment. Her social media posts and communications back home were brimming with positivity, painting a picture of a young woman enjoying her adventure abroad. Neighbors' accounts painted Sophie as more than just a nanny. She appeared to be a part of the family. Her dedication to the children was evident, with reports suggesting she spent all her time with them. This level of commitment was unusual for an au pair, but Sophie seemed content, fully immersing herself in her role and the lives of her host family's children. As Sophie's time in England progressed, a change in her demeanor became apparent. Initially enthusiastic about her new life, she gradually wanted to return to France. However, the prohibitive cost of airfare was a barrier. Her mother recalls Sophie mentioning this desire repeatedly, but without elaborating on the reasons. An incident where Sophie considered leaving the host family was quickly resolved after Sabrina, the host mom, spoke with Sophie's mother. It was downplayed as a minor issue, leading to the decision that Sophie would continue her stay in England. Sophie had built good relationships within the local community despite these underlying tensions. She confided to some friends about her difficulties at home, including a trivial yet telling incident where Sabrina reprimanded her for dropping butter. However, the neighbors did not take these concerns further, remaining just whispered concerns. Jaimini Patel, a local shopkeeper, often saw Sophie and described her as a shy yet always smiling girl. But eventually, Sophie's presence in the community dwindled. She was no longer seen around, raising questions among locals. When inquired, Sam, Sabrina's husband, gave vague responses, suggesting she was either away or busy with errands. The situation at home seemed to worsen. A neighbor named Brown observed Sabrina's aggressive behavior towards Sophie and questioned her about it. Sabrina's response painted Sophie as lazy and unhelpful. Brown's concern for Sophie was evident when he brought food specifically for her, noticing that she looked hungry. In a chilling turn of events, neighbors noticed black smoke and an unusual smell emanating from the backyard of Sophie's host family. Concerned about the safety of the children, one of them promptly called the fire department. When the firefighters arrived, they were greeted by a bizarre and horrifying scene. Sam was found tending to a grill with chicken on it. However, what was found next to the grill shocked the responders. Amidst the ashes, they discovered not only clothes, eyeglasses, and a bracelet, but also human remains, specifically a piece of a nose and fingers. Firefighter Thomas Hunt, upon realizing the grim nature of the scene, confronted Sam with the question, "Why are you burning a body?" To which Sam, identified as Ouissem Medouni, calmly insisted he was merely roasting a lamb. His demeanor, strangely composed, belied the gruesome discovery. The situation was unmistakably sinister, despite Sam's repeated denials, claiming he was cooking. The police were called to the scene, and Sam continued his assertions until he was taken into custody, remaining silent as he was escorted to the police station. The discovery had escalated into a criminal investigation, revealing a tragedy far beyond anyone's worst fears. Upon his arrival at the police station, Sam was detained, and the authorities contacted Sabrina for her account of the events. She expressed ignorance about the situation, claiming that everything seemed normal when she took the children to the park earlier. Sabrina's response about Sophie, the babysitter, was evasive. She alleged that Sophie had quit her job 2 days prior and returned to France, insisting she hadn't had contact with her since. The police, sensing discrepancies in her story, arrested Sabrina along with her husband for further investigation. During questioning, Sabrina maintained her innocence but was quick to disparage Sophie. She accused Sophie of behaving like she owned the house, being unwilling to work, neglecting childcare responsibilities, and spending excessive time on her cell phone. The officers perceived that Sophie had been a source of significant disappointment for the family. The allegations against Sophie escalated, with Sabrina accusing her of theft and associating with individuals involved in illegal activities. The investigation into Sophie's tragic situation revealed a series of harrowing details. In the initial year of her exchange, everything appeared normal. However, the situation took a dark turn when Sabrina began to target Sophie, falsely accusing her of stealing a ring. This accusation marked the beginning of a relentless campaign against Sophie. Sabrina escalated her actions by confiscating Sophie's documents and passport, effectively trapping her in a foreign country without identification. Furthermore, Sophie's salary was withheld, and she was coerced into confessing to the theft through audio and video recordings. Despite her denials, the situation worsened for Sophie. Sabrina's delusional behavior led to Sophie being starved and isolated from her family. The accusations against Sophie became increasingly outlandish. Sabrina claimed that Sophie was romantically involved with her ex-husband, Mark, a businessman and music producer known to work with high-profile celebrities. Sabrina alleged she had seen Sophie and Mark together on the street, accusing them of having a sexual relationship and conspiring against her family. These unfounded claims painted a picture of paranoia and delusion that had devastating consequences for Sophie. The tragic case of Sophie Lyonnais, the young French au pair, culminated in a harrowing and disturbing revelation of the events leading up to her death. The couple, Sabrina Kouider and Ouissem Medouni, were found guilty of not just murdering Sophie, but also subjecting her to extreme torture and abuse. In the weeks before her death, Sophie endured unimaginable torment at the hands of the couple. Kouider accused her of absurd and unfounded conspiracies, including an affair with her ex-husband Mark Walton and involvement in black magic. These delusions led to a brutal campaign of abuse against Sophie, who was starved, beaten, and repeatedly interrogated. Kouider and Medouni's actions reached a horrific climax when they killed Sophie in their bathtub. After her death, they attempted to dispose of her body by burning it in their garden, leading to their eventual arrest. When neighbors alerted authorities due to the smoke and strange smell, the trial revealed the extent of the couple's delusions and cruelty. Witnesses and evidence painted a picture of a young woman trapped in a nightmare, subjected to constant abuse, and accused of ludicrous crimes. The court heard how Kouider created a fantasy world, casting her former boyfriend Walton as a villain and Sophie as his accomplice. Medouni, deeply influenced by Kouider, participated in the abuse and interrogation of Sophie. The impact of Sophie's death was profound. Her family, forced to endure the details of her final days, expressed their heartbreak and disbelief at the cruelty she suffered. The British Au Pair Agencies Association highlighted the importance of thorough vetting and support for au pairs to prevent such tragedies. Ultimately, the couple was sentenced to life imprisonment, a verdict that reflected the severity of their crimes. The case stands as a chilling reminder of the depths of human cruelty and the importance of safeguarding vulnerable individuals in domestic settings.